Listen to that sound? That's not music. That's not a machine. That, right there, is the sound of a mystery. A mystery that arrived on a warm August night in 1977, spoke for exactly 72 seconds, and then vanished forever. It didn't leave behind a crashed ship. It didn't leave behind a strange artifact. It left behind 6 letters and numbers, and a single word written in red pen. Wow! This is the story of the closest thing humanity has ever had to a cosmic phone call. This is the story of the WOW signal. And to understand it, you need to understand the quiet. It was the summer of '77. Star Wars had just changed movies forever. Elvis had left the building for the last time. And in a small control room in Delaware, Ohio, a man named Jerry Ehman was doing a job most people considered, well, a little bit crazy. Jerry was part of SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. His tool wasn't a flashy telescope, but something called the Big Ear. A massive, football field-sized radio antenna that just listened. It listened to the hiss and pop of the cosmos, the leftover noise from the Big Bang, the whisper of dying stars. It printed this noise out on long, endless reams of green and white striped computer paper pages and pages of 1 South and 2 South, the background fuzz of the universe. It was tedious work, glacial, like watching grass grow, if the grass was the entire Milky Way galaxy. Jerry's job was to look at these printouts, day after day, searching for a needle in a cosmic haystack, a signal that wasn't supposed to be there. And then, on August 18th, 3 days after the fact, Jerry saw it. In a sea of 1 South and 2 South. This, 6EQUJ5. In the code the printer used, this wasn't just a blip. This was a scream. The signal was 30 times louder than the deafening silence of space. It had risen to a shattering peak. And then, after exactly 72 seconds, it fell back to silence. 72 seconds was precise. That was exactly how long a fixed point in the heavens would drift through the Big Ear as stationary gaze. Jerry grabbed his red pen. He circled the anomaly, and in the margin, he wrote his now legendary note. Not interesting, not anomaly detected. He wrote what any of us would have written with our hearts pounding in our chests. Wow! So what had the Big Ear heard? Let's break down why this was so earth-shattering. First, the frequency, 1,420.4556 megahertz. To you and me, that's just a number. To a radio astronomer, it's the most important address in the universe. It's the resonant frequency of the hydrogen atom, the most basic, common building block in the cosmos. For decades, scientists like Philip Morrison had suggested that if you wanted to be heard across the galaxy, you'd broadcast on this cosmic watermark. It was universal. It was logical. It was like shouting, "Hello," in the only language every star system would know. Second, the signal itself. It wasn't messy. It wasn't wide and blaring like a natural star or a quasar. It was narrowband. All its energy was focused into a razor-thin slice of the radio spectrum. That's a hallmark of technology, of engineering. Nature is chaotic. This was precise, clean, intentional. It came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, near a star group called Chi Sagittarii, a quiet, unremarkable neighborhood in the galactic suburbs. The conclusion seemed obvious and terrifying and wonderful. They had heard a signal that carried all the signs of an artificial, intelligent transmission. For 72 seconds, it felt like we were no longer alone. And then, the silence returned. Jerry and his team immediately pointed the Big Ear back at that exact coordinate. They listened for hours, days. They alerted other observatories around the world. The mighty Arecibo dish in Puerto Rico tuned in. They scanned for months, for years. They heard nothing. The signal was a ghost, a cosmic one-hit wonder. So began the great debate that continues to this day. If it wasn't them, what was it? Let's play cosmic detective and examine the suspects. Suspect number 1, human interference. A secret military satellite? A passing aircraft? The problem is, the signal's properties were all wrong for anything we were flying in 1977. And why would it only happen once? Perfectly aligned with the star field, on the exact frequency scientists were hoping for? Suspect number 2, a natural phenomenon. In 2017, an astronomer proposed it might have been a cloud of hydrogen from 2 passing comets. It made headlines briefly. Then other scientists crunched the numbers. The comets weren't in the right place. Their hydrogen wouldn't create such an intense, narrow signal. The theory, while creative, evaporated under scrutiny. Suspect number 3, a glitch in the matrix. Could the big ear have malfunctioned? It's possible, but the signal was textbook perfect in its shape and timing. Glitches are messy, ugly things. This was a masterpiece of a data point, which leaves us staring into the dark at the possibilities that send a shiver down the spine. Possibility 1, a galactic lighthouse. Imagine a civilization that builds a beacon. It sweeps its signal across the galaxy like a lighthouse beam. For 72 seconds, that beam washed over Earth. We happened to be listening. By the time we looked up, the beam had moved on. We were just in the right place at the right cosmic moment. Possibility 2, the buried message. What if the signal was meant for us or for someone, but it was buried in layers of data we still can't decode? What if 6EQUJ5 isn't the message, but just the envelope it came in? Possibility 3, the last echo. This is the most haunting thought. What if the signal was a final, dying broadcast? The last gasp of a civilization that extinguished itself millennia ago. Its final, we were here. Just now reaching our ears? We would be listening to a cosmic ghost. Here's the truth about the WOW signal. It didn't give us answers. It gave us a question so profound it has echoed for nearly half a century. It is the ultimate maybe. It is not proof of life out there, but it is potential made audible. It is the universe telling us in the clearest possible terms. You're asking the right questions. Keep listening. That single red, wow, on green bar paper is a monument to human curiosity. It represents the moment our lonely species, on a tiny blue dot, strained to hear a whisper from the dark, and thought, just for a glorious minute, that we heard a whisper back. The search hasn't stopped. It's grown. Projects like Breakthrough Listen deploy technology 1,000,000 times more powerful than the big ear. They scan millions of frequencies. They're waiting for the next wow, one that hopefully doesn't vanish. Until then, the original remains. A perfect mystery. A signal that taught us that the greatest discovery isn't always an answer. Sometimes it's the question that keeps us looking up at the stars, wondering what or who might one day say hello again. Thanks for watching.